Hello, everyone. Today we're going to present our project. It's called Team Self-Assessment. It is presented by me, Amran Gannun, and my two teammates, Ahmed Bey Karali and Khalil Asheikhali. These are our socials, our LinkedIn and our Instagram. All right. Before we go into the definition of team self-assessment, I really want to focus on the self-assessment part. So a self-assessment is a process through which we can learn more about yourself and measure the growth you can and measure your growth. You can also perform self-assessment according to a variety of criteria, including development skills and relationships. So it depends on how you conduct yourself in a group with people in terms of like how do you develop yourself inside of a group of people, and how do you develop your skills, and how you develop also your relationships with them. Now we'll go to the topic of our conversation, team self-assessment. So team self-assessment is basically a structured process designed for teams to explore the way they work together. The tight structure supports team members to be open and honest in their assessment. It also helps them to measure out their strengths and their weaknesses of a team so they can move up farther in their work life. Now I'm going to move to advantages of team self-assessment. Sorry. So So we found nine main advantages of team self-assessment. So the first one is you feel more engaged in their people, like the teammates feel more engaged in their work. So like they're more willing to put in more hours, more dedication to their work. Also, they gain greater insights and set future goals for improvement. So they always have the motivation to be better than they were yesterday. Also, they feel more confident about their abilities, and they also enhance adaptability building. So they adapt to they adapt to the environment. Also, they can correct their mistakes quickly. We can also, with team self-assessment, we can also select specific training programs that are more suited to their needs. They can also develop an inquiring mind for problem solving. They become more accountable and responsible. They also feel more valued, and they also feel more motivated to learn new skills. Now I'm now gonna leave the floor to my mate Khalil Asher. My mate Khalil.
Hello everyone, I'm Khalil and I'll start my slides with the self-assessment tools. So these tools also brings up the values of the Scrum approach towards the team projects, especially for the team self-assessment. Starting with the first tool, which is rubrics, for assessing qualitative student work such as essays, projects, reports, and presentations. And the second tool is the curriculum mapping. While not a tool for data collection, a good curriculum map can serve to focus assessment and the improvements that follow, where it will be most useful, informative, and effective. The third tool is the focus groups. The candid reflections or ideas from a small group of students or participants can provide unanticipated insights valuable for guiding the direction and methods for assessments. The fourth tool is the portfolios. Portfolios can provide a window into the process of student learning, whether across a semester-long project or a four-year tenure at the university. The fifth tool is the structured interviews. While time-consuming, structured interviews are useful when you want to ask specific questions, but also want to leave room for unplanned for topics or ideas to emerge. The last and the sixth tool we have, the surveys, whether a program-based survey of current majors or recent alumni, well-crafted survey questions can yield important information about student perceptions and experiences. Moving on to the second slide, the characteristics of the team self-assessment represented in these six characteristics. The first one is sharing leadership roles rather than relying on one strong, clearly focused leader. And the second one, holding the team accountable rather than holding just individuals accountable. The third one, encouraging open-ended discussions and active problem solving in meetings rather than trying to be efficient. The fourth characteristic is the measuring the team performance directly by assessing our team's collective work products rather than measuring performance indirectly, for example, the financial performance of the business as a whole. The fifth characteristic is discussing, deciding, and doing real work together rather than delegating real work to others to do. The sixth and the last characteristic is the basically trying to establish links with key resource organizations well before we need them, rather than waiting for an emergency to make a contact. So these characteristics are representing the optimal way of executing a certain project which will lead to an accurate and positive team self-assessment. With that being said, I would like to conclude and let me give the floor to my friend Ahmed to continue.
Hi, my name is Ahmet. I would like to talk about the self-assessment tool and at the same time highlight the importance of team self-assessment. This is a tool used by the SAFE organization. The acronym stands for Scaled Agile Framework. This organization is an important organization in the Agile practices. These tools focus on 5 different categories, which is vital for the success of the team. First category is the product ownership health. This category focuses on the product owners' communication with the shareholders and team members, which is vital for the backlog. PI health is the part where focus on the sprint planning procedure. This part's questions can be summarized as: is the definition of done clear and achievable, and is our backlog is at the same direction with our end goal? And there's iteration health. This is the part focused on the sprint health. These parts can be used to improve the quality of the scrum, daily scrums, and the time efficiency for the project. And the team health part focuses on the team's communication health. Are team members feel included in this team, and are they feeling comfortable sharing their ideas? The technical health part focuses on the team's technical properties and their special. This part has special questions for the line of work for each team. This focuses on the technology or the workforce they are using. For the next slide, I would like to talk about 3 different tools. These books do not primarily focus on the self-assessment, but they all focus on the successes in business, and they all mention greatly about the team self-assessment procedures. The first book, Team Topologies by Matthew Skelton and Manuel Pace. This book aims to teach young people who are going into business the method and the structure of team, and it highlights the team self-assessment's importance to work a great team. And secondly, the book 5 Formative Assessment Strategies in Action by Kate Jones and William and Levi. This book focus on the team self-assessment implemented in the education system to students, to highlight these tools' effectivity not only in business but in the education as well. And lastly, the 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. This book focuses on a CEO who is in a dysfunctioning team and her journey to make this team a great and workable workplace. And it highlights heavily on the team self-assessment resources. And lastly, I want to talk about another team self-assessment tool, which we used in our projects to evaluate ourselves and see our weaknesses and powerful aspects. As you can see, there are 5 questions about the backlog, Scrum, team, sprint, testing. This is a survey, and you can see how well you do in each part. And this is all for our presentation.